Hi. So to begin with, we will go over what blueprints are. Now, blueprints is a node-based visual scripting editor inside of UE4. Now, if you're used to using UDK, it's a lot like Kismet. However, blueprints is a much more powerful tool, and new to UE4, you can actually now create blueprint classes, which we will go over later on. You would want to use blueprints to create things such as switches, doors, and anything else you would want to have functionality with, so the players could interact with it. Now, to get to blueprints, you up here have this blueprints button. If you click that, you're going to see that we can create something called a blueprint class. You can open blueprint classes, which we have some because they are with the first person shooter starter demo, and we have a level blueprint. Now, to start off with, we're going to just quickly open up the level blueprint so we can go over the interface for this. Now, again, if you've used UDK, it'll look pretty similar, but it's a lot more different. So with this interface, I will say now I am using version 4.7. So if you are using the versions a bit behind, then it may look a little bit more. It may look different. I know that they changed the interface slightly for 4.7. So up here we have our menu bar. It's pretty much just most of this is already around here, so we won't have to worry about that. But in Windows, you'll be able to have final results and compile results, which you commonly used. Compile results are normally down here anyway, and then final results would help you that if I typed in light and clicked enter, there's no results at the moment, but later on, if we were to want to locate a light and we had a massive graph, we could use this to find that anything that has the name light in it, and we can go through that and find out what we would want. You also have your toolbar here, which you have your class defaults, which is the details panel here, which we will be using. And you would use the class defaults. You would have all your variables here, which you could end up changing. You see their default values, which you would make over here. You have your blueprints part here. This is where you can create event graph functions, macros, variables, and event dispatchers, which we will be creating some of these during the course. Over here we have a palette. Now, I personally don't use this, but this favorites palette is pretty useful, especially if you're beginning to start off with and you want to also save some stuff in the favorites. Say you're using a certain node a lot, you can favorite that and then you would have it here. For example, branch is very commonly used, so you would have that right there, which is in the save. You could also down here in the find node we'll just type in branch. Sorry. And then you would have branch here, and you can see there's a favorite icon below. If you don't want that, you can just uncheck it and you see it disappears from there, and if I click that, it comes back up into the favorites. I'm going to close that because I don't actually use this, but if you want to use that, you're more than welcome. And then over here we have the event graph. Now this is where we're going to be doing all of the node-based scripting. For example, if I right click, you would have all the actions for the blueprints, so you can get any of these actions, and you can also just type. So if I typed in branch, and then you would see that branch there, and you click. It's pretty useful as well because you can also turn on context sensitive. So you could also, this is pretty much so if I had branch and then true, it would have anything that I can use with this node here. If I turned that off, it would have every single action that I could have, but if you were to choose one of these and it would not connect to that, it wouldn't, the node string wouldn't connect to that. So that's a quick brief overlook of level blueprints. Next, we will have a quick look at blueprint classes.